Good morning, you guys. We are in the garden starting some seeds today. We are always in the garden, of course, but I wanted to start some seeds with you guys, and I also wanted to give an update on the Coleus Topiary that I had made and I have neglected, but it is still alive. She is right here, still alive, still okay. She just needs some maintenance on her, so we're gonna do a little bit of maintenance on that. I have another one that I should also probably grab. Let me just grab that really quick while we do some maintenance on that guy. And I thought we could start some seeds, get ready for the fall garden today. I love the fall garden. It's one of my absolute favorites. Here is the other Coleus Topiary. And I do have a random Coleus over there. So we're gonna get these all pruned up first, and then we're gonna start some fall seeds, which are actually gonna be more like summer seeds for me, late summer seeds, and just get some things all cleaned up and ready to go. So let's start by pruning back these Coleus, and then we'll talk about which seeds we're gonna start. These are my Coleus Topiary that I've totally neglected. So I gotta come in and do some pruning on it. You can see it's wanting to branch out even more. So this one I need to come through, cut this piece off down here. I need to come in and cut these guys probably about here where it's wanting to branch and let it fully branch out. And then here, oh my goodness, I need to come and pop this branch off. That's a wild one. And then I do need to do the same thing, come back and cut these so they branch out a little bit harder. If I was smart while it was branching, I would have came in and done all that, but I didn't. This is the wasabi Coleus. Probably not the best for turning into a topiary because they get so massive and they really want to get massive. And I chose the wrong Coleus, but it's okay, it's all I had. I know, super dramatic, super severe. It's okay. Everywhere that there's a little teeny tiny node, if this camera will focus, like right here, all of those will start to branch out just like this, and it'll make it nice and full. And then as these come out, when they get another set of leaves, I'll come in and I'll pinch it. I just need to be better about branching it. And then same with this one. This guy right here has got 2 branches and he's got some side shoots here, and then these will turn into 4 branches right here, and as those get second set of leaves, I'll come in and I'll prune them. And if I wanted to, I could take all of these, put them in some water, and I could root them, and then these would grow into new Coleus. I'm not going to do that. I don't need a million more of these wasabi Coleus plants. I have a bunch of them on the property anyways, so I don't need any. I might just throw some of them in a vase for a flower arrangement, not to root. All right, now that that is done, let's go through my seed box. I got this off of Amazon. It was a gift from one of my sisters, and we're gonna go through and we're gonna pull what seeds I wanna start. I know it's a little late to be starting some of these things. It's actually extremely late, but my first frost isn't for a while. So if you're wanting to look at which seeds you need to start, what you need to do is you need to start with just looking up what is my first frost date. You just go into Google and you type in what is my first frost date and then your zip code, and it should give you an estimate of when your first frost date is. Then that's how many days you have until you potentially could get frost. Could be earlier, could be later. That's just a good starting point. And with that, you want to add usually about 7 days to whatever the packet of seeds says for how long it's going to take for you to be able to get flowers or vegetables, whatever you decide to start. So the main thing that you need to know is your days to maturity. So this is a packet of sweet peas. I don't know off the top of my head. I think it's probably like 60 or 75 days to maturity. I'll pop it up on the screen what it actually is. And so with that, I know that I need to have, oh, it says 75 to 85 days to maturity right on the front of the packet. And so that means that I need to have at least 75 days before I hit a frost to be able to grow sweet peas. Sweet peas can actually handle a slight frost, so they usually are something that we grow more in the winter time here. But with that, I need to have 75 days if you're in a colder climate. And I probably want about a week's wiggle room also on that. So adding another 7 days to that. So instead of 85 days, it would be like 90 something days, 92 days or something like that. So just giving yourself a buffer, because as we get closer and closer to fall time and winter time, the days get shorter and the days get cooler, meaning that there's just not enough sunlight for these plants to want to produce, and it's colder, meaning that they slow down also. So I don't have to worry about that. My very first frost usually is at the end of October, beginning of November. It's usually the first week of November is when we may get a first frost. I don't really worry about it. Like I said, we get usually one day that hits 32 degrees. So I'm gonna be planting some cool season stuff, and I'm also going to be starting some more warm season things. So I'm gonna be starting a couple zinnias today, because I really feel like I totally I did myself a disservice by not planting as many as I would have liked to. And I have enough days in it in my growing season that I should be able to. So we're going to start with probably just one zinnia. And I think I'm gonna go with the polar bear zinnia. Okay, I feel like I need to do two. Polar bear zinnia is one of my favorites because it's just so easy. And then I know I'm gonna want one for fall. Queen Lime Orange and the Polar Bear Zinnia. Polar Bear is a massive zinnia, it's huge. And then the Queen Lime series is also a really good series for zinnias. And I love both of these. So we're gonna start both of these today. I'm not gonna do any more sunflowers. And I am gonna start pulling out some of my cool season crops. I do need to order some more seeds. There's certain things that I'm out of, like foxgloves. I really would like to start some foxgloves. That's a fabulous one for those of us in warmer zones to be starting over the winter time and getting a really good sized plant. I think I'm gonna do Nigella Love in a Mist and the Alban Black Pod. I think that's a really gorgeous one. We're gonna start some lupin. I love lupin and they don't do well for me. Larkspur is a really good one to grow cool season. That one's called Shades of Blue. I wish Gomphrena was a cool season crop, but it is so tender to even the slightest freeze. I love Gomphrena. It looks like it should be much harder than it is, but it is not very hardy. And then we are gonna start some sweet peas. This is called Chocolate Streamer. And I also have one in here that I just labeled Sweet Pea 2023. That's not helpful. Snapdragon. This is a really good time to do snapdragons if you're wanting to do snapdragons. I don't think I'm gonna do any snapdragons the rest of this year. And realistically, it's probably a really good time for me to start poppies, but I am going to wait just a little bit on the poppies. I tend to start them the beginning of, I start them middle of winter and it's too late for me, but I don't want to start them now. So I'm going to wait probably another 3 to 4 weeks to get those planted. And I am going to be ordering more seeds online. Absolutely ridiculous, I don't need any more. So the plan today is to start the Scabiosa called Black Beauty, my 2023 sweet peas, I have no clue who they are. Larkspur called Shades of Blue, super beautiful. And then we're gonna start this lupin, which I've had this since 2021. So I'd be shocked if I got 4 plants out of that. Some Nigella Black Pod, and then we're going to do Love in a Mist, Nigella, and then our 2 zinnias. And what we are going to be doing is we're gonna be starting everything in seed trays. I don't direct sow a single thing in my garden. Plus a lot of these, if I direct sowed them, my cool season crops, everything except for the zinnias, they would probably start to grow, they would start to grow, and then they would start bolting and they would go to seed and I wouldn't get beautiful flowers. So that's why I don't direct sow anything. And same with the zinnias, I'm not gonna direct sow them. I have terrible luck direct sowing plants. They either get pulled up by birds or slugs come and get them or snails come and get them, or they just don't get enough water and they die. So to me, it's not worth it. I start everything in seed trays. I got some new seed trays, and this is what we're gonna be starting them in. These are the 4x4 cells from Bootstrap Farmer, and I'm really excited about these. I've been starting most everything in these 6 cells, as you can see, which I have a ton of them. I still love them, but these I think are going to make it a little bit easier on my life. So they're much taller, meaning that they can sit in these trays for a little bit longer, and they won't dry out nearly as fast. And I think that they're just a really good size. Bootstrap also has them in every size that you can think of. So this is their largest size, which is a 4-inch container. And I pretty much have every single container size at this point in my game of buying Bootstrap Farmer. I have pretty much acquired everything that they sell because I love this product. It's one of my favorites. I will put the link to Bootstrap in the description down below. They're made in the US, and they're working on a new program where should your seed trays start to break or discolor or anything like that, they will take them back. You have to ship them back, and they will send you new ones, and they will guarantee that these turn into new seed trays rather than going to a landfill. So they're working on that. I don't know when that's going to be out, but that just is another reason that I love them, because we care about the environment here. And I know that these are plastic, and that upsets a lot of people. I also have my trays right here. These are the Bootstrap 1020 trays that all of my seed starting stuff goes in. So these are much, much hardier than your typical ones that you buy at any other, like you buy them at Home Depot, Tractor Supply, Lowe's. And so these go a lot longer of a way. These will last you forever. You don't have to worry about them breaking on you. And I am gonna just do every color today, because why not? Why wouldn't we do every color? I guess I'm not gonna do every color. I don't fully love the orange, so we're gonna go with 2 of the pink. The green has become my favorite color out of the entire line, in case anyone was wondering. And with the Bootstrap, I get this question every time that I show them, what size trays do you need to buy? If you're buying the 4 cells, if you're buying the 6 cells, if you're buying the 1-inch containers, the 2-inch, or the 4-inch containers, or whatever size container you're buying, they all universally fit in the 1020 trays. So that's not going to be a problem. You just buy one bottom tray. And if you buy like these guys right here, they have an insert, or if you buy the smaller containers, they have an insert to make it easier to pull them all out. These guys don't have an insert because they're so large as it is anyways. I could actually I couldn't fit them in there. Could probably fit it in this. Let's see if that actually works. So they have inserts. So this insert right here goes for these smaller trays, making it so you can just lift this out of the 1020 tray. And then they have these inserts, which are for these big boys right here. Let's see. Shut the front door. They barely fit. I don't think that they would fit. That wouldn't work. That doesn't work. Dang it. Would have been so nice if that worked. That's okay. Anyways, these are big enough anyways that it doesn't matter. So let's label everything. I'm going to just do 4 zinnias. I like to just throw these in here to see who's going where. You're going in there. You're going to go in there. And this is all going to go in my cut flower garden, which I'm so excited about. Sweet peas. Sweet peas. I want extra sweet peas. I want this. You know what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to do the larkspur, because I'd rather have scabiosa. The larkspur will get started the next time. Let's go ahead and write out our plant tags. I prefer to use this garden marker in the 0.8 millimeter. I just feel like I get the best results with it, and they last for absolutely ever. We're gonna fill these all up with soil. I pre-moisten my soil just enough to be able to make a ball, and it can hold its shape. Other than that, we're good to go. We'll fill this up, put our seeds in. The only thing is the chocolate streamer sweet peas and my 2023 sweet peas are going to take a very, very long time to germinate. The reason they're going to take a long time to germinate is for best results with sweet peas and things that are in harder shells like euphorbia, things that are just a larger seed. You want to soak them for 24 hours at least. And I'm not going to do that. So now that means that they're going to probably take another 3 to 5 days to germinate on top of the germination time, which germination, it says pre-soak seeds 24 hours, room water temperature, and it says it'll germinate in 14 to 21 days. So sweet peas are a very, very slow germinating plant. So I just have to be patient on those. I think lupin is the same thing. I think lupin I also should be pre-soaking, but I'm just not going to. So I just know that with some of these, it's going to take a little bit longer. And with other things, they're going to pop up really fast. Like the zinnias are probably going to pop up within 2 to 3 days. And I also could see the scabiosa popping up within 2 to 3 days. So let's get these all filled up with soil and get them all planted. We're going to start with our Queen Lime Zinnia. And the rule of thumb for most seeds is usually about 1.5 times the depth for the seed. And I'm probably going to put 3 seeds per cell in this. I need to get a dibber that I can keep in my seed box. I'm a mess. 3 to 4 seeds per cell because these seeds are a little bit older. And that is it. And then we're pretty much just going to repeat this process. Seed starting is so mundane. It's not a strenuous task. It's a very easy task. I find it very peaceful. I sit out here in the shade and just kind of try to enjoy my mornings doing this. What I do is I go back in immediately and I cover them back up, because what I have found in the past is, with me at least, I will put my seeds in and I'll put my plant tag in and I might re-sow a second container of the wrong thing. So I try to make sure that I just focus on one at a time. I don't do all of my holes. I just fill one tray, cover it, and then I move on. So that's how I have the best luck of not skipping anything. Just a helpful tip. Well, that is going to be it. My seeds are started. This is the start of my fall crop, my winter crop, and I am so excited. I've got a couple, like I said, that are at the warm season, like my zinnias, and I could get the scabiosas to bloom. That would be cool too, but I know that they'll go through the winter time. They should make it. My lupin, my nigella, my sweet peas. I did have to with my scabiosa. I only had 9 seeds of the Black Beauty scabiosa, so I actually started another thing of scabiosa. So I did the Snow Maiden also. So I should have a couple plants from there also. My thought is, with these ones, how large these cells are, I might be able to get like 2 plants per cell. So really this is 8 plants instead of 4 plants. This is 8 plants, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, and so on. Well, this will be 4 and 4. But either way, I'm so excited, because this means that the temperatures are going to start cooling down, which they have. My 10-day forecast is below 100, which is just, it feels like a treat to be in the 90s, high 90s, not 106. So these are all going to go under a grow light. I'm also going to keep a humidity dome on them, because I'm really, really bad about watering plants. And with a lot of these, I do not want them to dry out at all, especially until all of these have come up. The sweet peas and the lupin, I want to make sure that those stay nice and wet the entire time. So these are going to go under a grow light, under humidity dome. Once I see everything germinate, then I'm going to go ahead and take the humidity dome off. I find seeds starting to be a very peaceful task. I'm out here, I've just been listening to the birds and the hummingbirds flying around, and it's a slight breeze today, which has been a real treat. So I know seed starting isn't for everyone, and I know a lot of people don't enjoy it. And I know a lot of people also don't have a setup. We have grow lights. You don't have to have grow lights. You could have one single grow light that would work for this. You can even do the winter sowing method where you start your seeds much later and you start them outdoors in like milk jugs or even in containers like this if you have them. And you can just start seeds outdoors. I've done this before where I've done seed trays like this and I leave them outside. I don't put the humidity dome on them, but they will dry out much faster because it is cooler in your house. If you're wanting to do winter seeds like I'm doing, you need to start them much later if you're going to do it outside because it is too hot and they will bolt. That's why we're going to do this now, and we're bringing them inside where the temperatures are much cooler. We keep our house usually at about 68 degrees, 69 degrees. So it's really cold in our house. We like it to be cold, and that's going to give these a nice slow wake up, and then I can bring them outside when they are ready. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for visiting our garden, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys.